Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. You know you can follow this news broadcast live on our website is nta.ng/live and all our other social media platforms displayed on the screen right now. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to provide the desired leadership in the ongoing consultations and consensus building towards ensuring that the governing All Progressives Congress retains power in the 2023 elections by recording its third consecutive victory at the polls in the best interest of the nation. This was while addressing the National Advisory Council of the party, whom he tasked to bring their spheres of influence to bear in the process of ensuring that a formidable candidate of the party emerges for the presidential election. Let's get details from State House correspondent Adam Sambo.
This meeting with the APC National Advisory Council is coming barely 24 hours after President Buhari engaged all the presidential aspirants of the party and urged them to consult, build consensus and come up with a formidable candidate that will lead the party to victory at the polls. It was, amongst others, aimed at sharpening the focus of the APC family members as well as fortifying the positive democratic principles, practices and culture of the party towards enhancing its electoral fortunes.
I recognize the fact that you all have diverse interests, spheres of influence and expectations. You similarly possess the collective ability to ensure our victory at the 2023 polls by strengthening the stability and unity of the party. My charge and appeal to you all, therefore, is to reach out to your various spheres of influence to actively promote the spirit of consultation and consensus building so that a formidable candidate for the 2023 presidential elections will emerge from the convention. Our citizens do not expect less from us.
The standard bearer of the governing party, the president insists, must have the ability to build a unified nation and the capacity to deal appropriately with the nation's fundamental challenges. He said the meetings held so far have not only been fruitful but indicative of a party that is prepared and marching towards a resounding victory at the presidential election.
I wish to assure you that in the interest of the nation and the party, I shall lead the transition process and ongoing consultation till we successfully choose our candidate for the 2023 presidential elections and record our third straight victory thereafter, by God's grace.
President Buhari described as pleasing that the APC presidential aspirants consist of eminent personalities rich in experience, pedigree of accomplishments in life, capacity and commitment to service. Speakers at the meeting, including General Muhammad Magoro, Chief BC Akonde and former Senate President Ken Namani, were unanimous that with hard work and a unified front, APC would win the 2023 elections and expressed appreciation to President Buhari for the great service being rendered to Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
All right, it is the first day of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Primary and Special Convention. We hear that arrival and accreditation of delegates have begun. We now join our correspondent live, Salihu Gwanara, at the Eagle Square venue of the convention to give us an update. Salihu, what is the latest over there?
Thank you, Ruth, for joining us here live at the Eagle Square, venue of the APC 2022 Special Convention and Presidential Primary that has commenced, let me put it that way. But from your introduction, actually the accreditation of delegates is expected to commence anytime soon, and I think that exercise will take place within the premises, but not inside the Eagle Square, but I think premises around. The actual location, they didn't disclose the actual location to us, but it won't be far from the Eagle Square. And arrival, like you said, that is correct. Delegates, from my interaction with some officials of the party, members of the party, they said delegates have started arriving 2 days before now, and they are doing well in their various hotels. But now, like you said, today is day one of the crucial exercise by the governing All Progressive Congress, and in addition to the ongoing stakeholders engagement outside here towards a smooth exercise, I want to tell you that the stage here, talking about Eagle Square, is set for the exercise. Though the day one, I think what is happening here today majorly is about putting finishing touches to make sure that the exercise is hitch-free. From my interaction with some of the relevant committees that are working here for days now, it shows that work has significantly improved, and it's at the concluding stage now that the entire atmosphere is ready to accommodate the delegates, as the case may be. But I think that will be tomorrow. But today being day one, the place is still lively. Some officials are here to make sure they put everything in place. Like you can see behind me here, apart from the decorations in the air and on the ground, what you are seeing behind me are ballot boxes, 40 of them in number, to tell you how ready this venue is, and how to make the exercise seamless by the time they start in full tomorrow.
Okay.
And
Salihu, let me hold your thoughts there. Good to know about the clarification about the accreditation. Good to know that it will soon commence, but we also hear that security is very tight over there. But from your observation inside and outside the Eagle Square, what did you observe?
Security is very, very tight. From my own experience, before assessing the venue here, I knew, in fact, at a point, they didn't allow me to even drive in my own car. I have to go back, park, and use the official car before I was allowed in here with the crew. If you don't have business here, I think that's what the security men are saying, you don't have to go near the Eagle Square. This place is meant for party stakeholders and, of course, the most important people for this exercise, talking about the delegates. And talking about readiness and some of the things on ground, the medical team is here. And I have with me here Dr. Oji. Dr. Oji has been on ground to make sure that everything is in place. But I want to take him up. He will tell us, Dr. Oji, you know, your committee is one of the most critical committees, bearing in mind the number of people we are expected to assemble here any moment soon. Please, how ready is your committee ahead of this task?
Yes, thank you very much. My committee is ably led by the Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige. Co-chairing with him is Professor Isaac Adewale, former Minister of Health. And we have also an able secretary, Dr. Faisal of the National Primary Health Care Agency. And his assistant is Hajar Asebe.
Yeah, let's go to what you have in place.
These are we have put everything that we need to put in place. If you look around, you can see there are already 5 ambulances and then 1 mobile clinic. At the entrance over there, you can see the big mobile clinic which we used the last time we did our convention, and to make sure that we are ready to take any emergency here. And then if you look at the other side, you see there is a tent. We already have doctors and nurses already situated for tonight. And then by the side of it, you can see 3 ambulances, 2 from the Federal Road Safety Corps, and then 1 from the National Hospital. We still have another ambulance out there, which we are going to station out there so that if there's an emergency, we can take and run to any hospital. So we already have procured medicaments and everything. So we are ready. We have well over 20 to 30 doctors and nurses ready to handle any emergency here.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. As you heard from the doctor, they are ready, that they have enough men on ground, medical personnel, in case of any medical eventuality, and everything here is in order, waiting for the delegates.
Okay. Thank you very much, Salihu, for that update. Of course, we'll definitely keep in touch with you over there. Thank you. We apologize for those flickers there you noticed while Salihu was talking. Let's still talk more on the convention. We hear ahead of the special national convention for the party's presidential primary, the FCT Police Command has ordered the diversion of traffic along the roads leading to the Eagle Square venue of the convention. A statement by the PPRO of the command, Josephine Adi, urges motorists to take alternative routes as the deployment by the command is characterized by heavy visibility policing, as will be witnessed at various checkpoints within the city center, that is Abuja. The police assures delegates and other dignitaries to the convention of their safety as watertight security is provided. The Senate and House of Representatives have jointly postponed resumption of plenary from Tuesday 7th June to Tuesday 14th June 2022. A statement from the Office of the Clerk, House of Representatives, Yahaya Danzaria, explains that the postponement is due to the ongoing national convention of the All Progressives Congress and other party primaries of other political parties for the 2023 general elections. Senators and House members have been advised to note the new date. The All Progressives Congress says it is set to have a free, fair, inclusive and peaceful convention that will produce a formidable presidential candidate for next year's general elections. Speaking on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, Governor of Nasarawa State and Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee, APC Special National Convention, Abdullahi Sule, says the stakes are high for APC and respect for party leadership will not be compromised. Let's hear more from Lydia Sampson.
Getting it right through an inclusive process is sacrosanct for APC as a party that plays by the rules, having worked so hard to deliver on its promises as the governing party in the last 7 years. Nigerians are expecting the party to consolidate on its achievements and put its best foot forward.
We pick each one of them and we address them. And from what you can see, really, the president keeps addressing each one of these issues. And the presidency is a team. It's not just one person. You know, it consists also various executives at the regional level, and everybody is taking some of these items and addressing them. So if that is the case, indeed, we know what Nigerians are looking for.
I will personally prefer that at the end of the day, aspirants are allowed to face the delegates, so that at the end of the day, the process, you know, all this accusation, even if it is going to be a consensus that is genuinely arrived at, will not be understood by especially the opposition and a large chunk of the Nigerian voters as such. So it's always preferable to have this contest take place, minimizing the areas of rancor.
I am hopeful that by the end of this convention, just like we had in Lagos, we will be able to have 23 aspirants who will understand that they have given their all, starting with 100 million naira, which isn't by any means any small sum. When they have traveled around the country, and all they probably want is just the opportunity to test their strength, test their capacity, test their ability to convince delegates to vote for them. And if that is given, then we would have strengthened democracy.
They are optimistic that the tangible results of President Muhammadu Buhari's are set to be consolidated when a credible standard bearer emerges. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says it has injected a number of technological innovations into the conduct of subsequent elections in Nigeria to check identified lapses in previous elections. The INEC Commission, however, appealed to Nigerians, especially stakeholders in election process, to monitor and prevail on politicians not to undermine the process. Adogbeji Ojegba reports.
The forum was organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to intimate media executives about the Commission's effort in ensuring successful polls come June 18, as accurate report of the election plays a significant role in the success story of the election. INEC Commissioner Voter Education Festus Okoye assures that everything has been put in place for the success of the election, as 10,000 adult staff have been incorporated for the exercise.
And we are going to use this particular election to test some of our technological innovations to make sure that we get everything right.
There was presentation on technical innovations by INEC with special emphasis on beavers and its usage. The interactive section clarified issues, concerns and anxieties about the beavers, lapses that may occur in the voting process, and the need for media executives to acquaint themselves with the electoral law, as it is incumbent on media executives to be careful and meticulously process every information to avoid confusion, fake news and its attendant consequence.
The various do's and don'ts and those red flags that journalists and media men should watch out for.
With this training, definitely INEC is going to achieve a mileage.
With this technological advancement, hopes are high that the June 18th governorship election in Ekiti State will be a huge success. From Ado-Ekiti, Adogbeji Ojegba, NTA News.
Eldest son of the late MKO Abiola, Latifu Kolawole Abiola, has been declared the presidential standard bearer of the People's Democratic Redemption Party, for the 2023 general elections. Garba Natala reports that Kolawole Abiola won in almost 27 states of the country.
The PRP presidential primary election was simultaneously held across the 36 states of the country, as well as the FCT, and collated at the party's national headquarters in Abuja. After duly votes counted, the national chairman of the People's Redemption Party, Falalu Bello, announced the winner of the party's presidential ticket for the 2023 elections.
By the powers vested on me as the returning officer, being the chairman of the party, Falalu Bello, do hereby declare that Mr. Latifu Kolawole Abiola, having scored the highest votes cast, is hereby declared the winner of the primary election for presidential elections 2023.
Kolawole polled a total of 2,097 votes across all states, including Abuja, followed by Dr. Usman Bugaje, who polled 813 votes. Then Patience Ndidiki polled 329 votes, and Bolaga Irosumi Mosogu polled 263 votes. Representative of Kola Abiola said the conduct was a hitch-free. In Abuja, Garba Natala, NTA News.
Away from politics, FCD Police Command has debunked stories making rounds in some section of the media of an alleged attack on Janu Estate, Gwarimpa, Abuja. In a phone conversation, the police PPRO DSP Josephine Ade said no one was abducted. Deborah Micah will tell us more.
Abuja woke up Monday morning with various social media platforms awash with an alleged invasion of an estate in Gwarimpa by gunmen, claiming that several residents were abducted. However, the police in the telephone conversation says this is not true.
No abduction in any estate in Abuja. The only incident Abuja recorded was a case of burglary within Galadima. There's one new estate called Queen Estate, Katana Queen Estate, AFAB Katana. That area is Galadima. Around 3 a.m. some petty robbers entered one house, burgled a house, and we quickly went there. They on sight, the police, they ran away, and leaving behind all the stones, the laptop and some phones like that. They threw it away and ran away.
Here is Gwarimpa Extension, and we are at the Genuine Estate, where it has been alleged that there was an attack in the early hours of Monday morning. One of the managers of the estate, Donatus Anowe, and the chief security, Abraham John, were all at their duty posts.
I'm one of the management of the Genuine Estate. I'm here since morning to come and resume work. Now, somebody called me, one of the subscribers, asking me, do you any attack in Genuine? I said no. Any kidnapper? I said no. So nothing like that at all. If there are such, people they will have to approach me.
We are the security in the Genuine Estate, but all the information they carry is fake information. Throughout the night, they walk throughout the night. Notice happen.
As at the time of filing this report, everywhere in the estate was calm, with people going about their businesses. Deborah Gastajin, Micah, NTA News.
Relative peace is gradually returning to Owo following gunmen attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo. Our correspondent told us about that when she sent in a report to Imbatire about the update on the peace being experienced after the attack. All right, and following that development, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has assured the government and people of Ondo State, especially the entire Owo community, that the federal government will in no distant time fish out the perpetrators of yesterday's attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo and make them pay for their evil acts. The Vice President, who gave the assurance when he led a federal government delegation to the palace of the Olowo of Owo, noted that the gunmen attack is an attack on the entire nation, as Owo is known for peace. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and the Olowo of Owo appreciated the visit and appealed for federal government's urgent intervention. The Vice President later addressed some youths in Owo and urged them to remain calm as the situation is under control. The office of the Vice President has debunked the story on social media that Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo was involved in an accident on his way to the airport this morning. Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity in the office of the Vice President, Laolu Akonde, explained that his convoy has stopped to help a man whose car had somersaulted. We also hear that the Nigerian Police Force has ordered forensic investigation into the attack on St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, to ascertain the actual cause of the attack and for immediate arrest of the assailants. While commiserating with the church, families of the deceased, the people of Owo and Ondo State Government, the Commissioner of Police, Ondo State Police Command, equally ordered the immediate deployment of armed and specialized policemen to the area to restore normalcy and fortify the entire community. Similarly, President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has condemned the heinous killings of worshippers by terrorists on Sunday's attack at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, in Ondo State. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awuni, Senator Lawan described the callous attack on innocent worshippers as shocking and reprehensible. He called for a painstaking investigation and prayed for the repose of the souls of those killed and wishes the injured speedy recovery. In the same vein, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has demanded immediate action from government against Sunday's attack. Gbajabiamila, while condemning the dastardly act, described those behind the attack as enemies of the state who must be fished out and dealt with accordingly. The Speaker lamented that the activities of terrorists, bandits, kidnappers and other criminal elements in the country are becoming a daily occurrence, adding that incessant attacks on innocent Nigerians across the country must be brought to an end. He challenged security agencies to double their efforts in bringing the insecurity in the country under control, especially by stepping up intelligence gathering to halt such attacks before they occurred. The Speaker sent his condolences to the government and people of Ondo State over the unfortunate incident. He equally prayed for the repose of the souls of those that lost their lives. We We take a stop now in Lagos. Kende is set for us.
Thank you, Rose. I'm glad that you're here joining us in Lagos. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has created a seamless process of registration for permanent voter cards for youth who have not been captured, persons whose cards are lost, damaged, as well as those who are seeking a transfer in order not to be disenfranchised from the 2023 general election. Lagos State Resident Electoral Commission Segun Agbaje said the process is a means for the commission to capture more eligible voters into the system. Abolade Salami reports.
Elections in Nigeria are mostly characterized by voter apathy, violence, and rigging of results. In some instances, while a larger percentage of the country's demography is constituted by the youths who form bulk of the population, statistics from the Independent National Electoral Commission reveals that 51% of registered voters are youths, with less than 30% that participated in the 2019 elections. In bridging the gap, the electoral umpire through a concert show in Lagos is attracting the attention of youths on the need to register for their PVC.
We just want them to know that the artists they like, that they prefer, are going to be brought here. We don't want that one to be their only motivation. The motivation is that they love Nigeria, they love issue of politics and governance, and that they want to also participate and ensure that they have good election next year. Because it's also not just even about registering, to also prepare them ahead. Because you know from September when campaigns will start, we don't want them to be used to cause problems or violence, either during campaigns or during the election proper.
To encourage more participation of the youths in the electioneering process in the country, critical stakeholders are partnering with the umpire through advocacy and campaigns on the relevance of owning a permanent voter card in order to perform their civic responsibility.
But it's not enough for young people to be angry and vent on this outrage on social media, which is very good. But it will not make any difference if you don't register, if you don't collect your PVC, and if you don't vote at the next election. So the next election is about young people, and young people must make their numbers count by coming out to vote.
The most important thing for me to come out here to do an adjustment on my card because of the 2023 election. I wanted to vote and I want my vote to count.
With the Youth Vote Count initiative, election observers are optimistic that registered voters' number will increase. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
To ensure the less privileged, especially men in Nigeria, have access to prostate cancer screening and diagnosis, a non-governmental organization, Dozie Mobosi Foundation, has inaugurated a free mobile prostate cancer screening and diagnosis bus in Lagos. The first of its kind in Nigeria, with the aim of reaching out to average Nigerian man at his doorstep. Diana Ajali has details.
Prostate cancer is a non-communicable disease said to be the most common type of cancer in men and second most frequent cause of cancer-related deaths in men globally, particularly for those who are 40 years and above. Despite its fatal nature, however, experts say prostate cancer is no longer a death sentence, as early detection is key to saving lives.
Anybody that has male in their lives that are above 40 years should encourage them to do annual screening. And the easiest of the three forms of screening is to do a blood test called PSA. It's an acronym for prostate specific antigen.
To further reduce deaths from the disease in Nigeria, Dozie Mobosi Foundation is adopting continuous public awareness campaign, including free access to mobile prostate cancer screening and a diagnosis bus for those who cannot afford it. The world-class prostate cancer screening bus is fully equipped for the task at hand.
To the glory of God and to the service of mankind.
The Dozie Mobosi Foundation is focused on creating a positive impact on the lives of less privileged Nigerians and Africans in the areas of healthcare, delivery, and education.
All they need to do is just make themselves available and just enjoy the benefits.
General Manager, Motorways Commercial Vehicles Limited, Mohammed Hanafi, said the bus was completely built in Nigeria and in such a way that it can ply all the Nigerian roads.
What you see here is like a small mobile
scanning equipment.
There was free cancer screening for participants at the inauguration ceremony. Blood in the urine or numbness in the legs or feet, pain in the hips or chest, and loss of bladder or bowel control are some of the symptoms of prostate cancer. Experts at the event enjoined the public to take advantage of the free mobile prostate cancer screening bus provided by Dozie Mobuosi Foundation in order to reduce cancer-related deaths in Nigeria. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And that's a contribution from Lagos. But before we go, we'd like to remind you to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all the social media handles displayed on your screen for update. We'll take a short break now. Obey in Benin will take over after that.
And welcome to NTA Benin Network Center on Nationwide. Party stalwarts and citizens of Edo are hopeful that the convention of the ruling All Progressives Congress will produce an acceptable candidate that will vie with others in the 2023 elections. They spoke with our correspondent, Goodluck Enaini, on their expectations.
All eyes are trained on the APC as members begin to arrive Abuja this Monday for its national convention to elect the standard bearer for the party. The twists and turns that have characterized the past 3 weeks may continue hours into the decisive primary, a situation citizens in Edo described as the duty of democracy.
APC convention is as close as anything can be. And as far as I'm concerned, the event at Owo will impact and should impact on the outcome of the primaries. It's not time to play the old politics, but to play politics of exigencies, expediency, and dictating the term of direction of things.
They are all our sons, and they've all achieved in their various field of endeavors. So one will expect that they will give us the best of their best, so that when Nigerians will now have to choose between what the PDP had offered, what Labour had offered, what other party may offer, there should be a little bit higher in stake, so that when Nigerians are voting, they may have the way.
Hours to the commencement of the convention, it has been stories of alignments and stepping downs, followed by refusal and deniers. As the aspirants prepare for the contest, respondents sues for the spirit of sportsmanship. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
And still on politics, the subject of discourse among political pundits in Edo State is the recent emergence of Senator Francis Alemekena as the senatorial candidate of one of the parallel groups of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Edo North, following the resignation of Mrs. Victoria Edelekun, who initially won the election. Our correspondent takes a look at this new trend in the political space of Edo State ahead of the election. The repeated primary, according to the state chairman of the party, Tony Azegbemi, is in compliance with the directives of the National Working Committee of the party to replace Mrs. Edelokun, who won the primary conducted on the 23rd of this month, but later resigned. He also cleared the air on the legality of Francis Alemekena's candidature, just as others share their views.
She has withdrawn voluntarily, and I do not cannot stay without a candidate. To comply with INEC and the leader of our parties in Abuja headquarters, we must conduct an emergency primary. It is what we have done here today.
A transparent exercise, and it is what is supposed to be done.
The party's guidelines, Part 4, specifically Part 4, Section 2, stipulates that when a candidate emerges after a primary election and the candidate withdraws, the party activates that section to hold an emergency electoral election to fill that vacancy.
With this development, PDP in Edo North still has Pascal Ugbome and Francis Alemekena as winners in the two parallel primaries. And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Obehi. Preparations for commencement of operations of Nigerian Air, the proposed national carrier for Nigeria, has reached advanced stage with the issuance of air transport license by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to the interim management of Nigerian Air in Abuja. Benny Adams reports that the issuance of air operator certificate, which is expected soon, will signal the commencement of full operations.
Number of air travelers may not have been there to enjoy the good old days of service delivery of the Nigerian Airways, talking about the defunct Nigerian Airways. But the news of a new national carrier, that is the Nigerian Air, coming on board is a kind of exciting.
Air Nigeria?
Yes.
As in this one, Nigerian Airways?
Yes.
This is unbelievable.
I'm quite excited because it actually belongs to the Nigerian people and it's going to be cheaper, isn't it?
Congratulations, Nigeria.
The issuance of air transport license to the management of Nigeria Air enables the airline to provide scheduled and non-scheduled services to include passenger and cargo services. It is one of the licenses received by airlines before they can commence operation. Director General, Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu says the next hurdle to cross soon is the air operator certificate that fully guarantees Nigeria Air the right to begin air services.
To have strong airlines in Nigeria in view of the single African air transport market and the African Continental Free Trade Area, which can make significant contribution to the growth of the Nigerian economy. We have one of the largest markets, if not the largest market in Africa, and we stand to gain the most from this AU Agenda 2063 programs.
One aspect of the entire roadmap project, which, as you know, includes an MRO, which is a maintenance facility, aircraft leasing, a university specifically geared towards educating people in the aviation sector.
The airline, which is expected to start operations soon, is private sector driven and midwifed by the government. The national carrier is expected to have only 5% government stake, technical partners about 45%, while about 51% will be acquired by local investors. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The National Industrial Court of Nigeria Abuja Division has ordered the National Assembly to commence discussions with legal practitioners on how to improve the salaries and allowances of judicial officers in the country. This was during the proceedings in a suit instituted by a senior legal practitioner challenging the poor salaries of judicial officers. Olabodiarewa reports.
Instituted by a senior advocate of Nigeria, Sebastian On, was filed against the National Assembly, Attorney General of the Federation, National Judicial Council, and the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission through the National Industrial Court Abuja to compel the defendants to take measures to increase the salaries and allowances of judicial officers. Predicating his arguments on what he described as the current economic realities in the country, he submitted that judges' emoluments, which were last reviewed 14 years ago, were inadequate to enable them discharge their duties impartially. Where the matter was called this Monday, Defense Counsel to the National Assembly, Charles Yoila, confirmed receipt of the processes, but indicated the desire of the National Assembly to hold discussions with the claimants towards reaching amicable settlements. Although the court records indicated that the other defendants have also been served, they are yet to file memorandum of appearance.
This is a matter that relates to the welfare of the judiciary, the third arm of government. It is such that both the executive and the legislature must give serious attention, and from the indication, the National Assembly is not contesting it.
Justice Otahuanwe Obaseki Osagi thereafter adjourned proceedings to June 22 for reports of out-of-court settlement or commencement of hearing. From the National Industrial Court Abuja, Olabodiarewa, NTA News.
We'll take a trip to Maiduguri now to join Mohammed to pick up with some reports from that end.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Maiduguri Nationwide. Future Assured Initiative of First Lady Aisha Buhari has distributed assorted drugs targeting women, children, and other vulnerable people in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The medical supplies went to Mamanshua Memorial Hospital, Bulungutu Rehabilitation Center, and Hajj Camp Maiduguri, with thousands of targeted beneficiaries accessing the humanitarian gesture. Pauline Vanna reports.
Supporting the less privileged people has been the priority of Future Assured Initiative file, hence the donation of assorted cartons of drugs targeting women and children among other vulnerable people in the state to improve quality of their health.
They give us food and medicine, alhamdulillah.
The representative of the wife of Nigeria's president and founder Aisha Buhari Foundation, Future Assured, zonal coordinator of the program, who is also the immediate past commissioner for women affairs, Zoe Ragambo, unveiled several other interventions of food and non-food items, including support to victims of GBV in Borno State.
This is a continuous intervention by the Future Assured Initiative to support the government of Borno State, which is already taking care of these vulnerable people.
Representative of wife of Borno State Governor, former Commissioner of Health, Comrade Juliana Bitrus, as Special Advisor to Governor Zulu on Security, Brigadier General Abubakar Ishaq, appreciated Aisha Buhari for the medical support through her foundation, which will in no small way address the health needs of the vulnerable, particularly women and children who are victims of the insurgency.
The drugs are assorted, they are qualitative. We call on other people that have such organizations to also emulate the kind of gestures extended to Borno State.
The officers in charge of Mamanshua Memorial Hospital, Rehabilitation Center and Hajj Camp expressed gratitude for the gesture and pledged to utilize the drugs on the targeted beneficiaries. In Maiduguri, Pauline Vanna, NTA News.
Strategic and enhanced civil-military relationship is one of the best avenues of improving the security situation across the country. This formed part of recommendations made during stakeholders' engagement organized by Center for Civilians in Conflict with the support of European Union to improve community resilience for mostly communities in northern Borno that have suffered from the insurgency. Yamusu Bukar now reports.
Building resilience and sustained community engagement on the need to improve civilian protection policies, training for security forces with continued awareness and building capacity of conflict-affected communities have over the years been the central focus of the Center for Civilians in Conflict. The organization, with the support of the European Union, has now engaged stakeholders of Monguno local government to launch report of current realities in the area and discuss on how to minimize harm to the community and build on the successes recorded so far in the reconstruction and resettlement drive of the populace. Chairman Monguno local government Gary Ibrahim appealed for military base at Mairari to further strengthen security of lives and property, as well as the need for enhanced capacity of traditional leaders.
I'm appealing to other NGOs and well-meaning Nigerians and well-meaning people of Borno State to come to the aids of Monguno, because His Excellency the Executive Governor of Borno State have go ahead to each farmer to go outside Monguno for farming.
Representative of the European Union enjoined the government of Borno to continue to sustain several projects executed across the state to better humanity. Involvement of the community was also among some of the far-reaching recommendations of the gathering, which would, among other things, scale up farming activities in northern Borno as peace gains ground and more people returning to their ancestral homes. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
That's all from
And welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. The General Officer commanding 8th Division Nigerian Army and Commander Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadirandaji, Major General Uwembasi, says that firearms have been recovered from bandits. The GOC disclosed this at a brief ceremony to hand over the firearms and ammunition to the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Deti completes the report.
Covers Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, and Kebbi states with headquarters in Gusau, Zamfara state. It is saddled with the responsibility of curtailing banditry activities, cattle rustling, and violent crimes within its area of operation. From 2018 to April 2022, firearms, ammunition and small arms were recovered from the bandits, majority of which were gotten from Zamfara State. In line with the federal government's directives, the recovered weapons are being formally handed over to National Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons.
Our mandate is to make sure that these crimes are completely checkmated, control of illicit arms, recovering of arms and ammunition, to ensure that law-abiding citizens go about their legitimate businesses without any let or hindrance.
Receiving the firearms and ammunition, Zonal Coordinator, National Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Air Vice Marshal Haruna Umar Muhammad, retired, commanded the Operation Hadarin Daji for a job well done. He said the center, since its establishment, has recorded successes in receiving arms and weapons recovered from criminals within the country.
By the grace of God, we will have fair election and a arms-free election.
Firearms and ammunition are the latest received by the center, which is in addition to others recently received. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Worried by the rate of insecurity and other challenges bedeviling the country, the Muslim Solidarity Forum Sokoto has, in collaboration with the Sultanate Council, organized special prayers for peace in Nigeria. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar directed that such special prayer should be conducted on a monthly basis. Elat Abdullahi has more.
The Muslim Solidarity Forum Sokoto, comprised of Islamic clerics, chief imams, representatives of Islamic sects and Islamic organizations in the state. The prayers were led by the chief imams of Sultan Bello Jumaat Mosque, Shehu Mosque, Sultan Abubakar III Jumaat Mosque, as well as the representatives of various Islamic sects. Sheikh Ahmad Umar Helele made presentation on the significance of prayers on ensuring peaceful coexistence in the society and stressed the need for Muslims to intensify prayers to Allah, who has the powers to solve all problems. Chairman of the Muslim Solidarity Forum, Sokoto, Professor Isa Muhammad Meshanu said the special prayers were necessitated by the unending challenges facing the North in the past 10 years and the country in general. The challenges, according to him, include insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, killings, burning of farms, and other valuables.
It's pertinent for us as Muslims to use the last thing, our last resort, that is calling on to the Creator of everything, who controls everything, to come to our aid.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar described the special prayer as timely and urged all imams and Islamic clerics across the state to organize them at their levels. He enjoined that the special prayer be held on a monthly basis in the interest of peace, stability, and national development. In Sokoto, Dalat Abdullahi, NTA News.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. And that's it from here. I'll take you back to Abuja with Ruth for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Asmaul, and let's do sports business.